The year is 2015. One of the most iconic esports organizations in the world, Fnatic, was in shock. After reaching the semi-finals of the World Championship, they had lost their team captain and star support Yellowstar. They knew replacing him would be difficult, almost impossible. However, a short while later, a young man in Sweden gets a phone call, and that young man is with me here today. Welcome to the show, Johan Klaj Olsson.
Hello.
How are you doing, and what are you up to?
I'm good. Just got home from the store. Just had to get some energy drink, Monster.
Oh, you gotta get those energy
Mm.
drinks, yeah?
Uh-huh. You know it.
How's solo queue been treating you?
Lately it has been going good actually, so I'm pretty happy. So can't complain about that one.
Oh, okay, sounds good. Are you still on Fnatic?
Yes, I'm still on the contract with Fnatic.
So as a sub, or?
Yeah, as a sub right now.
Oh, okay, that
Oh.
sounds good.
But we will see what will happen. It's a long time before the new season starts, so we'll
Yeah,
see
yeah.
where I end up.
Okay, so I guess you can't talk about it, but I can ask at least, do you have any contact with other teams for the next season?
Mm. Yeah, right now it's too early in the off season to say anything
Yeah,
what will happen. So,
I see, I see.
and I'm still on the contract with Fnatic for a long time. So,
Okay, that sounds good, sounds good. So I want to start out with you joining Fnatic because that's when you kind of became a public figure within esports and you got a lot of attention to you, as Fnatic is, of course, as I said in the intro, one of the most iconic esports organizations there is. So with your own words, what happened when you joined Fnatic?
okay, so when I joined Fnatic, basically I was contacted by another LCS team first that had some issues,
Okay.
and I was supposed to sign with the Challenger team, but they told me to delay that signing, the other LCS team. And basically 2 days after that, Fnatic contacts me and like do an interview and like want to try me out. So I try out for Fnatic, and 4 days after they contact me, they tell me to take the first best plane over to
Hmm.
Berlin.
Sounds pretty cool. So it was a quick process from them, from the first contact to them wanting to have you on the team.
Yeah, I think it was they contacted me Thursday, and then I tried that for them, and then on Monday I was flying over, so it was really quick.
Sounds pretty cool. So what was happening then in your life? Were you just playing the game, or did you work or study, or what was going on?
I was studying, but I kind of canceled the study before because I was joining a Chinese team as well, so I wouldn't have time to study anyways.
Okay, that sounds good. So I guess there wasn't much hesitation when Fnatic calls you.
No, there was no hesitation. At first, I didn't believe it, you know. It
Yeah.
didn't feel like, I don't know, it just felt weird at first, but then I let it soak in. And then I fly over, so.
That sounds good. Do you know, like, why they chose you?
From what I asked Deilor actually about it, he said I was the best available, and Martin already knew about me, so it was a pretty easy choice for them.
So you joined Fnatic in Berlin. What
Yes.
what does a day look like in the life of an LCS player? You've been there. Tell us.
Okay, so I, I assume we had pretty strict rules. That was my first LCS team, so basically we had a pretty set schedule or we didn't have it set, but it kind of gotten because me and Martin was always waking up early, so I kind of did the same just to be able to practice with him. So I wake up around 9, 10, something like that. Uh, we had like some tough week when we had to run and so on, but yeah, like a normal week would be we wake up 9, 10, then just do your morning stuff, then you stop playing solo queue or duo queue until like 2 when our chef made us food.
Hmm.
And yeah, then if you eat quick, then you have time for one solo queue again before scrim starts, and then you scrim from 3 to 8, and then you have food again, and then after that you're pretty much free to do whatever. And mainly we either went for ice cream or we played solo queue until 12, 1.
Okay, sounds pretty cool. So the distribution of solo queue versus scrims, it sounds like it's almost more solo queue than scrims.
Kind of is, but it depends because sometimes you have. It depends on how many blocks you have, but usually we only had one 5-hour block, so You can have like 2-3 hours block as well, or you can up the screen blocks if you want, but I think 5 hours is pretty tiring.
Yeah, yeah, I see. So you got into a team with some really big players. You had, of course, Rekkles, Forbidden, but also Deilor as a coach. What was it like having Deilor as a coach?
Mm, for me, well, I have a huge respect for Deilor. Like, he taught me so much about the game. So for me, it was super cool to have a coach like Deilor. I know some players didn't like his work ethic, but for me, it was super cool to have a coach as Deilor.
What was it people didn't like about his work ethic? Was it too harsh? Or
Yeah, it was too strict. We weren't allowed to like drink sodas or whatever, and we like when we had the work like the try hard weeks when we actually had to go out and run. No, people wasn't too happy about that.
I see. Sounds pretty. Sounds like it could be good for your performance, but perhaps
Yeah,
boring in the long run.
yeah. After some weeks, it's kind of tiring.
Yeah, I see. So I also want to talk about the pro life off the Rift because there has been like some rumoring and drama and stuff. I don't want to mention any names, but there has been like talking about all the partying and the girls and Reckless and Febib and all the girls they get and so forth. I want to ask you, and you don't have to tell me anything if you don't want to, but how much of this drama and rumors is actually true?
Mm, I wouldn't say it's true. Sure, like we party and so on, but like most of the drama is just random stuff that just gets up and up by medias. But of
Okay.
course, we parties and like live like normal people as well, and want to have fun. So, but
Yeah.
it's often more like extra hyped by media and so on.
Okay, so you think it's kind of like blown out of proportion
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
from what's actually happening?
Yeah, it's usually like we want to party like other people, just have fun when we have our days off.
Yeah.
And then it's just because we are pros, it's kind of like gets blown up, especially for Martin and Feb because they are super big.
They are super big, and yeah, as you said, a lot of stuff has been going on around them, like rumoring about this. But
Yeah.
do you think like was it ever a problem, like partying and stuff for performing?
And no, we kind of like if we were having like during playoffs and closer to playoffs, we rarely went out party. But like during the LCS, then we had always had one day off that we usually me, Feb, Rekkles, our manager usually went out. The
Okay,
Koreans didn't party too much, so
what a shocker. Okay, sounds good. So after you left Fnatic,
yeah.
okay, first you can tell me about what happened when you left Fnatic because for me, I heard started to hear rumors like, oh, maybe Yellowstar is leaving TSM. Oh, if he's coming back to Europe, will he go to Fnatic? What will happen? What actually happened then?
So after Rotterdam, when we played our third game match, Deilor and I had a talk, and he said that Yellowstar was most likely coming back, and said that if I was interested in playing the Challenger and stay as a sub. So I went down to the Challenger team, but the Challenger team like failed completely. We like out of game we were super good friends, everyone, and we clicked. But in game we had like I think it was more trust issues that everyone wanted to carry. So we didn't really mesh in game, and we wasn't on the same page at all. So it just escalated.
Yeah, so the Challenger team, do you think that was it a well thought out team like from the beginning, or was it just more of something that Fnatic put together just to have a team in the tournament, or what happened?
Basically, there was a long tryout for like 2-3 weeks at least. So they tried a lot of players, like they picked out names they wanted from solo queue and then tried them out and so on.
Hmm.
So I think it was pretty good like that. But then we didn't really get a proper coach. And when Deilor had to leave, it got kind of chaotic because there wasn't like I was the most experienced in the house then at that time, like how to do and so on. Because our manager wasn't there, our coach wasn't there, and so on. So it was pretty chaotic for a while. And then like when things didn't work in game, it got kind of I don't know we kind of just slumped and didn't connect at all in games. So
Hmm.
things just escalated from there.
Oh, I see. So you didn't actually have a coach for the Challenger team at
Uh,
all, or?
we had a coach, but he was more of an analyst in my eyes than an actual coach. So it was pretty like, I don't know, weird to work with him as a coach. He's like, as an analyst, I would say he's really good, but as a coach, I don't think he didn't have too much of a saying in the team, I would say.
Hmm. So you'd say that the challenger team lacked in authority, kind of, or
Yeah, more or less.
okay, yeah, seems reasonable. And it didn't go too well there in the end. Like, what were your expectations with the challenger team? Did you think that you could actually like make it big with the team, or
Yeah, I think we could qualify for challenges for sure. And then
yeah,
if we have the proper training and like train with the guts on screens in with the A team maybe or whatever, then we could be really good actually. But yeah, that didn't happen.
that didn't happen indeed. So I want to go back to the main team, Fnatic, after you left,
Uh-huh.
because this season, this Worlds is going to be the first since season 2 without Fnatic.
Yeah.
And I think you know the team better than most people. So what is your analysis on what happened with Fnatic this season? Why aren't they in Worlds? What went wrong?
So I just feel like it's kind of like the channel team. I think that they didn't really mesh in game and like they wasn't on the same page. Some people want to do some stuff and some other want to like focus on other stuff. So in the end, like you kind of need to be on the same page on this level to be able to perform good. Else it's really hard to make the team synergize.
Yeah. So you think like the players are good enough individually, it's just that they aren't matching up together?
Yeah, they just have different mindsets on how to play the game.
Okay. And with Deilor gone, do they have anyone that can bring them together under the same mindset, or was that Deilor's role?
Deilor actually stepped down because he felt that he had done his work here in Fnatic and he tried to like get them to get on the same mindset and so on, but it didn't work out for him. So they brought in a new coach, Nico De Pico.
Yeah.
So he's the coach now, and we'll see how it goes until like for next season with him.
Hmm.
But Deilor stepped down because he didn't see the change. He had been there for 2 years, I think, almost.
Yeah.
And now when there was a slump and he couldn't really make the change, I think he felt from the players that he didn't have the same authority anymore to make that change that was needed. So I
Yeah.
think that's kind of the reason why he stepped down.
Okay. So I guess your description of what happened isn't too far off what a certain H2K AD carry tweeted out. I'm going to read the tweet out loud here that what he said is Fnatic got what they deserved. They gave control of the team to a 17-year-old and kicked the only disciplinary force within their team. So what you're saying, I don't think it's too far off what this guy is saying on Twitter, or what do you think?
I think it's pretty far. It's not like anyone got control of the team, but like he didn't get kicked. He first of all he stepped down. Then
Yeah.
I don't think really anyone had the control of the team, but they took in Nico because they wanted to try something new to make the change happen, but like they didn't connect in game, so
Okay.
they were just on different pages.
I see, I see. So we've been talking about Fnatic, we've been talking a bit about your history. Before I move on to Worlds, which I want to talk with you about as well,
Yeah.
I thought I'll do a segment where I give you the name of a player, and you have to tell me what you think about that player. So let's start out. Rekkles.
Nah, I think he's really good. He always know what to do, and he's like, for me, he's kind of a leader because he brought me into the scene and like took a good care of me. So I respect him a lot.
So what are his main strengths, would you say?
I think he has like he's just good overall on almost everything. He has good mechanics. He has a good game knowledge. He's a leader, and he like always takes it serious.
Yeah. To me, it seems like he's kind of been like this huge star, like Europe's biggest star player, perhaps, and now he's like not as much of a star anymore. Would you agree with that, or?
Mm, I think after the elements, I think when he come back, people kind of like they kind of didn't see him as the star anymore because Huni was kind of what Fnatic played around, but he can be the star and carry if he gets the player to play around him, but that Fnatic played around Huni, so it was really hard for him to develop.
Yeah, I see. Good. Okay, so let's move on to the next player. Forgiven.
I think he's insanely good mechanically, but sometimes he like at least when I played, he kind of had he always tried to like over punish the lane. Like if they get turret, it stayed on the lane instead of swapping up like other teams did. They actually tried to play the macro game, but he just wanted to super punish the lane instead of trying to win the game.
Yeah. How do you think he will do at Worlds versus the bot lanes he will face there?
I think for game will do really good at Worlds actually. I think this season HK looks really strong from what I've seen lately, and I think they can do really well at Worlds.
Okay, cool. So let's move on. Next player is Yellowstar.
I have a huge respect for Yellowstar. Lately, I don't know. Lately, it's been like some questionables, but when I watched the scream, when I was in the house and watched him playing screams and like seeing all the extra stuff that he did for the team that I didn't, it was so insane. Because like his communication and knowledge about the game is just so much like better than mine. So after that, I was just mind blown by how good this guy was actually.
So has he been
Knowing
like
about
kind
the
of a
game.
teacher for you, or how's your
Yeah, a
relationship?
bit. Yeah, a bit. Like we talked a bit and so on, but since I left the house, we haven't spoken that much.
Okay, cool. So Mithy,
Miffy is number one EU support for sure.
for
He's the
sure.
best in my eyes. This guy is insane. He
What,
does everything right.
okay, so what is so good about him? Is it just everything, or does he have some certain strengths?
Nah, knows what to do on the map. He has good mechanics, and like he plays with one of the best ADs in Europe as well. So this guy is just insanely good.
Okay, and speaking of his AD carry, it's actually the last player that I have on my list now. It's Sven.
Okay.
What do you think about him?
I think he's top two with Rekkles as AD in Europe. So yeah, I rate him super highly. I don't really know too well. Like I played some duo queue with him, but not too much. But I think he's insanely good in like team environments and in solo queue as well. So yeah, and he has the best support in Europe. So what can go wrong?
What can go wrong? Well, I guess we'll find out in a couple of weeks what can go wrong
Yeah.
in Worlds. So yeah, let's finish this out with talking about Worlds. And the first question I think I have for you is, in like a broad sense, how strong is Europe as a region? Like not every team in particular, but just in general, how is Europe matching up to like NA, Korea, China?
I'm not so sure actually, because last year Fnatic was super strong. Origin was strong as well. This year G2 looks really strong, but I'm not sure how they match up against Koreans and Chinese teams, for example. I think H2K looks super strong as well lately, so we'll see how they match up. I think they can do pretty well against Korean and Chinese teams.
Yeah, think so. Just judging like individual player quality in Europe, how good do you think we are compared to the other regions? Just looking at the players.
Mm, it's hard to say. Like a team like G2 that are like full of superstars like Niels, Mithy, and Trick. I think they can do really well.
Yeah.
Uh, H2K, like the Forgiven Jankos that have been like looking insanely good lately, so I think they can do well as well. Spice got a really tough group, so that will be pretty hard, but hopefully they can make a miracle happen.
Yeah. Seems good. So now that you've got into that, let's do the predictions for each EU team in particular. So G2 first. They are in a group with the Rocks Tigers. How do you think they will do both in the group and in the championship?
I think Rox and G2 will go out from this group. I think Rox will be first and then G2. I'm not so sure though.
Yeah.
How they will do? Hopefully they can reach like semi-final at least, because I think this team is really good, but we'll see.
Okay, so next team is H2K. How do you think H2K is going to do?
I think they will finish second or first, depends on how good the Clearlove shows up in the game against HK. But I think they will qualify out from this group, and then we'll see how good they do.
It seems like you value H2K like very highly compared to some other people. Like you think they're really good?
Yeah, like I always thought when I played, like the support I really respected was Yellowstar, Mithy, and Vander from EU. those were like the three top guys that I always looked up to. So, and then now when Forgiven is back, he has shown really good lately, and Jankos is just a monster.
Hmm. Seems good. So to finish it up with for the EU teams, we have Splice in a group with TSM, Royal Never Give Up, and Samsung. It's looking tough.
This group is really tough. I'm not so sure how they will do. I put them last in my group thing that you can do on the LoL esports, but who knows? Maybe they show up and qualifies out of groups.
So what do you think about this group in general? Like who will advance?
Oh, I think Samsung and Royal, even though TSM has looked really good lately.
Oh, you don't think TSM?
I think TSM looks really strong, but like Royal has the best bot lane in the world, and
Yeah.
then Samsung looks really strong. So
So you think Samsung and Royal will beat TSM?
yes,
Okay, I'm looking forward to this. It's my group of death. I think it's really tight, this group.
yeah, it is.
Group D. So Group B is the one we haven't talked about. Flash Wolves, SKT, IMA, and Cloud9. What are your thoughts here?
Um, SKT winning for sure. After that, like any of the teams can take it, but I gotta go with my boys Cloud9, Miracle team.
You think so, or is it just a meme answer, or do you actually believe in Cloud9?
I actually think they can go second in this group,
Mm-hmm.
so we'll see.
Okay, seems good. No belief in the Flash Wolves. They did do really well in the MSI.
Nah, no believe in Flash Wolves.
Okay. I see.
I don't know that. I don't have too much input on the Taiwanese scene. We watched some VODs like last year or like for 5 months ago, so I have no idea how they are right now.
Okay. I see. So to finish up the world's predictions, I want you to predict the winner of the entire thing, and I want you to predict like a dark horse, like someone who could surprise.
Oh, the winner of everything.
Yes. What's it gonna be?
Probably Rox.
Yeah.
Rox looks really strong. Royal looks really good as well on paper, but who knows how they will do. Dark Horse, I would say H2K, because people don't seem to rate them too high.
So you think HDK could like go on to the finals, or how good are they?
I think they can reach semifinals at least.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're really good.
So I'm looking forward to that. You're saying that they could get first in groups and maybe go to semifinals. It's gonna be good to see.
Yeah.
Nice. So that's all the topics I had prepared. To round this interview out, I would just want to ask you if you want to give any shout outs or anything to finish it up.
Yeah, just shout outs to Fnatic and like all the people that support me and so on. And I'm just thankful that Fnatic gave me this opportunity, and hopefully you will see me in LCS next season.